one another. No idea what to do because it's gone. Everything they had is gone. And there is no hope and coming back. And I can't imagine what that was like. You see, for my aunt, when I had to make the long walk to the front to pay my respects, I had hope. She was a Christian. She loved God. I have hope that I will see her again because she died in the Lord. And I'm going to try my best to stay in the Lord so I never have to experience anything without her. And I'm going to just walk to the front. And I remember holding my sister and taking the steps, going, it'll be okay. When we get there, just breathe. Because we had to take that long walk to the front that you do when you have to show respect to the family and you pass by the person you love and just breathe, it'll be okay. We have hope. But the disciples had no idea what Jesus had said. Weeks before Jesus had died, he was talking to them. He told them 3 times, I will rise again. 3 different occasions, I will live. Did they understand him? No. On the next day, some women who were struggling to sleep. The sun wasn't even up. There was nothing about to happen, and they were just so anxious because he was gone. And what do? I need to do the things I'm supposed to do. So this is what we do. It's dark, doesn't matter. Let's just go. We'll make it ready. Let's just go. I know we can do this. But what do we need? We need to pick up all of the spices. We've got everything right. Let's just go. And they walked. And you know those walks where you want to be there and you don't want to be there. But you have to go. But it's not real. And you're not walking quickly, but you're not walking slowly. And you're not really moving because this can't be real. This is not real. This is not happening to us. We didn't just follow this man everywhere. He didn't just change me 100% from who I was and give me new life. He didn't just change me from this lowly woman and outcast. He didn't just bring me to the center of his life and make me, restore me, to leave me. This can't be real. And they walked and they stopped and they breathed and they walked and they tried to get to this tomb, and there was no hurry about what they were doing. But they were on their way because we have to go. He is our Lord. We have to. I don't understand how he's dead, but we have to go, right? He can't. But you saw him on the. And words are not, and I can imagine it was a quiet walk between these 2 women. Mary would have looked at Mary and there would have been no real words, just sounds and the almost starting of sentences, but not really quite saying anything because he can't be dead, right? But he died. What does it all mean? How he promised new kingdoms and how do we get there? What do we do? And as they got to the tomb, the sun is now rising because it was before dawn when they left, but they walked so timidly that the sun had begun to rise. And as they looked, they were like, how is everyone not dead? And you can imagine these 2 women wondering what was happening because the first thing they see is guards, just Roman soldiers laid out on the floor like they were. Are they breathing? I don't understand what's going on. How did someone kill them? There's no blood. I think they're bleeding, but they don't appear to be alive. I don't get what's happening. Look to the tomb, and the searching for lives. Do not be afraid. The one you are searching for lives. Do not be afraid. And they looked at this angel as he gave them this message of, do not be afraid. The one you are searching for lives. And they leapt. And they looked. And the body was gone. And the linen was folded. And the tomb was empty. And an angel was telling them, do not be afraid. The one you are searching for lives. Now go and tell. I don't know about you, but I probably would have definitely thrown off these shoes too high and started running. I'd have probably taken a minute to kind of breathe in what they were saying. You know when you get that kind of news that you're so happy to receive, but you can't quite process it for at least 10 seconds, and you just stand. And then it's like, hold on a second, I've got to tell somebody. Hold on a second, I've got the good news. Hold on a minute, he's alive. Hold on. He told us this, and all of a sudden their minds started firing. Yes, do you remember? It was the last week when he said, 3 times he told us he would live. He's alive. Go and tell them that he will meet them. Travel. Go. And can you imagine what that was like? The disciples were so scared. They were locked in a room, unable to move and breathe, and didn't know what they were doing, and they had nowhere to go, and they were just sat silently in a room, locked up, scared that they were next. The temple guards are going to kill them, they're going to carry them off to Pilate, it's all going to be over, and they're just in there, and in burst 2 women. He's alive! Peter, always ready and up for action, jumps up running. You don't have to tell him twice. Never have to tell Peter anything twice. Remember a few weeks ago we talked about Peter being out on the water in a storm. Jesus came up and he said to him, do not be afraid. It is I. You don't have to tell Peter twice. If it's you, let me come out. Jumping out, not immediately, going to start walking. That's Peter. He was ready. Let's go. Run, run, run. He lives. I have to go. Now, in fairness, if he had listened to the whole sentence, he would have heard, he's alive and he's coming to meet you. He kind of didn't stick around for a bit. Good old Peter was out and running to the tomb. And he ran down there and got to the tomb. And it was empty. And there was an angel. Do not be afraid. I'll tell you the rest of the message. He will meet you. Go back. He will meet you. So here we are, on the Sabbath. We have had the good news. Jesus lives. He didn't just die, but he lives. It's not just all in the death, it's in the resurrection. See, I've had an opportunity to go in, and I get the opportunity to go into schools and do assemblies for young people. And it's always interesting. Christmas is always fun, always fun. People love the whole Christmas story, the idea of the baby. It's a lot of fun. We can play with that till literally the cows come home. I've never seen so many cows in production in my life. Except for one school, they had just all cows. I think all the children were just like, what do we be cows? Cows, 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 cows. You know there are other animals. Cows, 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 cows. And they love that story. It's great. There's a little baby being born, and even though that Herod is bad and he tries to kill all babies, it doesn't matter, because the baby lives. Go up with the baby. You see, the challenge of going in at Easter is that you have to tell the children that he died. And now I have this problem because I have 2 little children. And how do you tell the children that he died? Like, seriously, is there an easy way to break this to the kids? So Jesus died. So he was a really good man. He spent 3 years healing people, teaching them that there's a better way to live. And for that, they killed him. Okay, there's no real good way of saying that, is there? And so I've been into schools, and the problem that I have is that when I get there, they're like, oh, come on in, yes, we're so excited to see you, come, yes, go. We're happy you have to tell that story, we don't want to do it, go. I have to go into a bunch of 7, 8, 9-year-olds, and they're all excited, it's about Easter, there's going to be a bunny, and there's going to be eggs, and it's going to be awesome, and then in comes me in a normal outfit, and carrying some stones and a cross, and they're like, no, that's not part of what we have. No, we were kind of expecting you to be a kind of, just as bunny. Doing the bunny thing. What? Nobody's at Easter. Oh. So what happened? Oh, he dies. Oh, this is not good. And it's so bad that one school I went into, the previous year they had someone in, and he'd scared the children so badly that for a week afterwards, all the children kept talking about was, the first man died. They killed him. That's all they heard. Because what they heard in the story was this really great guy, this amazing healer, this amazing teacher, this amazing person who would come and he'd feed people and he'd be with them and he'd hold them. And all you had to do was walk past him. And if you had faith and touch the hem of his garment, you would be healed. And they killed him. They were frightened. Like, so what, if I do good stuff, people are just going to kill me. Like, is that how this works? Hold on a second. I also kind of out of order. Like, where are we going with this? And for a week afterwards, the teacher said to me that all they had was questions about why they killed good people. That's all they had. Because there's no easy way of saying that. You see, the problem was, of course, that the person who went in the last week spent so much time emphasizing that he died that they forgot to say he rose again. That the point of the story is that death has no power over Jesus. That death has no power over Jesus. That death could barely hold him for 3 days before it had to say, all right, release, sorry, I'm my bad. You can go back. Death has nothing on Jesus because Jesus is God. He is blameless. He lived a life for others. He lived a life free of sin. He wasn't killed because he had done anything wrong. He was killed because I did something wrong. He was killed because, fast forward 2,000-something years later, Tabitha, sitting in her home, was doing some real bad stuff.